Good morning. Welcome. Today I come to you from inside. Welcome in to this movement meditation around A Course in Miracles. So just as we gather in the space, just take a moment to step into stillness, to welcome stillness, to invite stillness. I'm actually going to be still in a second. I'm going to invite you to take a long, slow, deep breath in and scan your body from the top of your head down to your feet. And then we'll get into the Course in Miracles review reflection for today. So, welcome in, welcome in. So as I was doing that, I was laughing and smiling as I was getting present to myself and to the world today, and just remembering that life and God and light calls us to be creative and to work with what we have. And so that's what's making me laugh, because today I usually talk to you all from outside as much as I can. And today there's like an ice storm and it's a little hectic, so I had to get creative. So today I'm coming to you from my rebounder, which is basically a little small trampoline. And so that's where we'll do our reflection today. The intention of this time and reflection is personal. It's community. It's personal review and reflection of A Course in Miracles. So today we are on lesson 87. And last night, so the lesson today and the lesson every day just seems to be perfect, because I had a moment where someone called me yesterday, or I called someone back yesterday, and we got into this discussion about just things that we're worried about and just like what's going on in the nation and all those things. And I felt it when I went to sleep. I was thinking of all those things. And then this morning when I got up, I felt the anxiety of those things. And so today's lesson, we're on lesson 87 in the and which is still a review of other lessons. And it says, I will there be light. I will use the power of my will today. It is not my will to grope about in darkness, fearful of shadows and afraid of things unseen and unreal. And it just reminded me that I can let go of my fear. I can release that. I can be the light. And it says, light shall be my guide today, and light shall be my guide every day. And so that got me excited, and that's what I wanted to share with you all. If you're feeling any of that fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, it says that we will not grope about in darkness, fearful of shadows and afraid of things unseen and unreal. And how often do we do that? How often do I do that? I'm reminded by that. So it says, light shall be my guide today. I will follow it where it leads me, and I will look only on what it shows me. I mean, it's just a straightforward guide. We've been talking about this for the last couple of days, but that the Course in Miracles gives us a guide. It's easy. We don't have to wonder, is it this, is it that? Should we go this way or that way? It gives us pretty straightforward guidance. This day I will experience the peace of true perception, arguing that sometimes we have false perception or inaccurate perception, but we have the peace of true perception. And so I'm just thankful for that today. So thankful, so grateful. And it's some of the reminders or ideas to help are like, in the light, this would look different. So I just get to invite myself, if I'm feeling anxious or stressed or pressed, that let me look at this through the lens of light. Let me bring my light to this. And then also sometimes it means that we have to, or I interpret it as, I have to let go of whatever is having me be in darkness. So that, because light is there, light is my natural way of being. And so I get to be the light, and I get to remind myself, if I don't see light, it means that there's something else I need to remove. So that's the first concept. And then the second is, there is no will but God's. Again, in the same vein, because of all that stress and pressure and tension that I was feeling, or just anxiety about the state of the world or our world or my world, I am safe today because there is no will but God's. Again, it makes me smile. It makes me be thankful and grateful. I can become afraid only when I believe there is another will. Yeah, and that's where I was headed. And I was becoming afraid. I was thinking about my exit plans and what am I going to do and this and that. And I try to attack only when I am afraid. And this goes for this, the world situation, but also in my personal life. I see that I do this. So it's a good reminder. I try to attack only when I am afraid. And only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety is threatened. This is the most powerful thing. So first, recognizing when we try to attack. And so it's easy to see when others attack and to react and say, oh, I'm just reacting. But the reason we attack is because we're afraid. So there's a part of us that just gets to nurture and console that afraid part of ourselves. And then the second part is, when I try to attack, I can believe that my eternal safety is threatened. My eternal safety. I cannot die. We learned that a couple weeks ago. I cannot die. I cannot lose. I'm eternal. So my eternal safety is in hand, and my eternal safety is not threatened, is never threatened. And so it does require me to keep lifting myself up to a higher and higher view of things, but there is a place where I can be safe. And so these are the meditations for today that are going to be on my heart, and I am just sharing them with you, and I hope they meet you where you are, that we don't have to be afraid. We don't have to walk around in anxiety, knowing that there is no will but God's. God's will is at play. There is no will but God's, and that we will that there be light. And so one of the reminders, so I think that's really where we want to stay for today. There are some other, reminders as we go through life. Let me perceive this as an occurrence with the will of God. So instead of that part where we get upset and say, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe that's happening. Look at this next thing in the cycle of anxiety and frustration and I even say exacerbation we go through. Instead of that, we get to be in a place and just say, what if I perceive this? Let me perceive this in accordance with the will of God. So on that note, I just say, man, it's not like a preaching sermon, but I love this review for myself to just bring me back to my own groundedness in God and in my own light. And so I hope this meets you where you are today. I hope that it serves you. My intention is that it does. And I wish you well on your journey of knowing that there is no will but the will of God, and that we're all safe and our eternal safety is already taken care of. So I'll bounce on out of here. Have a nice day, everybody.